All right, so let's move on now to actual trading. This is the 5-minute chart, and we have a trigger, of course. So we have a very strong trigger because in essence we even have a degree 4 here. So we're having here, that's an internal one too. This is a 3, this is a 4. This is just about to correct now, so let's just do the labels and do the entry. So let's try and dig up any label around that we can use. So we're having an internal one here, and then an internal 2. We have a multitude of 3s and 5s together. Now this is a wave C, of course. That's a 1, 2, 3, or an A, B, C. This is the first leg into an A, and then there's going to be a B and a C. That C will have a 5, or that 3 will have a 5, and it is going to be at the terminal end of that leading or ending diagonal. Probably just at the tip of that leading diagonal itself. You're looking. We will take our time and allow it to move all the way there. There's going to be a correction. Let's take a closer look at the necklines. So the most probable is here. Okay, so at that point, once we get to that neckline, we're going to correct inside of this ending, inside of this leading diagonal, and can make entries at the top of a level 1. We're seeing, of course, head and shoulders. We don't have to label, we're seeing inverted head and left shoulders and right shoulders. So we're gonna try and do that right shoulder one more time. Best entry is gonna be 2560. This here is 2553 and 2586. All right, we would consider, if now it's everyone under risk preference, you can just go full size. All right, or you can also consider that this still has, it can do another head at this point, because the momentum plot is still very weak. We're just on the 5 and 15-minute charts, and it cannot only do another head just because of the 5 and 15-minute charts. It can do another head because of what's going on in Ukraine. We have to remember this. It can just break very quickly down if something out of Eastern Europe is discounted negative for cryptocurrencies. We can only speculate what can come out of Eastern Europe that is negative for cryptocurrencies, but it can happen. So we want to be wise and use the opportunity that if it does happen, we are there to buy. Okay, so if this does really happen, if something negative comes out of Europe that will negatively impact cryptocurrencies, you're looking at this wave here. This is in ending diagonal or leading diagonal into a leading diagonal, but you can still correct down to 127.2% of that motive wave. The motive wave is always very strongly plotted on momentum. So we use projections right from the top, just below the 0 line, all the way down to the bottom of the wave. So we could have a part entry at 2550, 2000 even, to be sure you're in the trade. You can get, we're not showing 50% here, so let's put in the 50. 50% comes in at 2570 at the moving average. Excellent entry. We can have half entry size there, and full entry size at another half, 2450. Or just, it's really everyone under risk preference. Take the full entry at top of level 1, 2570. All right, we already discussed the projections, the target projections. We now understand that we have to look very closely at momentum at that level, 2850. If momentum is negative, or if momentum did not do a degree 1 on the 1 hour, we take profit and we consider to wait. Once we get a degree 3 momentum in the 15 minutes, we short. We'll be doing it with 5. If momentum is at level 1 on the 1 hour and we're still getting a positive to neutral momentum feed on the 15 minutes, we of course want to see a positive momentum feed. This is at level 2850, but on the 30 minutes. So if you have a positive means just above 0 on the 1 hour momentum plot at 2850, and the feed out of the 15 minutes is okay, it's still positive, then we know that we're going to 3000, we're going to 2999. We could take profits and re-enter and go. If momentum continues to be positive, we go to the upper neckline, of course, 3,300 and 3,000, this levels here. This is the end of the move. There's leg 1 or leg A into C. There's going to be a leg B and then another leg C. So the momentum picture is very important, and we'll be doing a monitor on a daily basis. So we don't want to miss out like what happened on the wave down. Remember, the fundamentals are very important. The correction down, if you remember, we're just expecting on that 4-hour chart, we were just expecting to see a shoulder and not a second head. We were expecting this to terminate here at wave 4 at the moving average. It did break below the moving average and much more lengthier than we expected because of the fundamentals, because of what happened in Ukraine. So we will monitor very closely the momentum plot and hope to be on the right side of the direction. Aim to be on the right side of the direction. All right, so wave C ultimately will take you to 3,780. We can all envision these levels here. 3,000, sorry, this is a Bitcoin. 3,900 and 3,780 is below higher degree neck line here and below level 1 itself, internal level 1. At that point, we would consider that we have a degree 1 at least on the daily chart in order to be able to take out 3,260 and do a small shoulder, equating with this inverted heads and shoulders, and go all the way to 3,700 and 3,900. Buying today, you would want to have a stop just below the market bottom, just below this 2,300, 2,400 is fine. You're really looking at that 4-hour chart here. The bounce comes in here. This is your bounce, and so your stop is really just 2,400. So we'll be buying around 2,570, even possibly 2,450. The stop is 2,400. 2,450 is, of course, a bit premature, may not be seen, so it's best to be focused on the 2,570. This is where you're probably gonna get high rate of filling your entry.